Welcome to this session of 7 days of rest. Sometimes we think that when we are completely still, we are at rest. And yet we all know that if we try to do that, so many thoughts come into our mind. We saw yesterday that sometimes it is when we move that we are fully aligned with the movements of the earth, because everything around us is moving and everything within us is moving. There is so much going on within our own bodies, which we consider very physical, very dense, very three-dimensional. So today let's enter the resonance of Gaia by entering into the alignment of all the aspects of our own physical bodies. First, wherever we are and whatever we are doing, let us just see if our bodies are at ease. Is anything tight? Is something feeling not quite right? Make it okay. Is our breath fine? Is our posture fine? Are our feet on the ground or at least somewhere where they're feeling at ease? And when we do that, let's begin a journey into our own physical self. As we do this, I invite you to close your eyes so that you can fully connect with the self. Let's start with the breath. Let's start with the breath as it enters the nose. Place your attention just underneath your nose, at the point where breath goes in and breath comes out. For a moment, begin to expand into the air that you are breathing in. Where was this air just a moment before it entered? Where was it before that? From where did the winds bring this breath, bring this air to become my breath? What messages is this air carrying? What am I sensing? What is my body feeling? Can you sense what the body is taking in? The body knows. Is it taking in oxygen? Is it taking in viruses? Is it taking in some parts of the air which are good for it, some which are not? The body knows. But our own conscious mind may not. It does not, either because we are not aware or because we are not internally sensing. We are not aware. We just take our breath as something which is just something that comes in and goes out, most of the time without our awareness. But this time we are aware. So just for a moment think and become aware of what is the quality of the air that you're breathing in. And then begin to follow the breath as it goes into the lungs, into the alveoli. And where is it going from there? To every part of your body. It goes into the bloodstream, from where the blood carries it into every cell of every organ, every gland, every part of the body, all the muscles. Every aspect of us is taking in this air in the few seconds in which it enters and leaves. We have already absorbed. The intelligence of the body already knows what to take in and what to release. And if by chance we have taken in some viruses or some bacteria, immediately our white blood cells, our own inner fighters, the ones who protect the physical body, get into action. So many harmful elements may have entered our body every minute, and so many of them are being removed before they can hurt or harm us. How beautiful this mechanism is. Even without our awareness, we may know it, we may have knowledge about it because we have studied it. But now, really for a moment, just sense what is happening in the body. Even when I'm sitting so still in a meditative, smiling way, what is going on inside my body? Are there wars going on? Are there peacefulness treaties going on as the blood and the air mix with one another? What's happening inside the body? If you're listening to this later as a recording, you could pause your recording right now and just go into your inner sense of what is happening when you have taken in a breath. When the breath has gone all around your body. And now, as you breathe out, just feel what is it you're breathing out? What are you giving into this world? Are you giving blessing from your breath? Are you giving out some toxins which may be inside you? Can you do something to your atmosphere so that the toxins don't reach other people, other animals, or plants? How blessed we are that when we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, the plants around us are nourished by that. What a beautiful ecosystem is between us and the plants around us. And in this way, you start seeing the dimming of the boundaries between the physical body and the physicality of the atmosphere, the environment around us. And now, let's begin to connect with the moisture in the air or with the water that we may drink. Just visualize that you have a glass of water or a cup and you're drinking. As you drink, if you drink with love, with compassion, with happiness, with gratitude, you're feeding all those emotions into you. As we know from Hado, from the work of Masaru Emoto, the water that we drink or the water around us is affected by the thought and the emotions and the vibration that we have. So even a simple act of sipping water or drinking anything which has liquid, and almost every food has some liquid in it, any of it done with awareness can bring beneficial energies within us. Once again, we see that there are very few boundaries between what we're eating and drinking and imbibing and our physical body, because what we eat and drink goes inside us. It goes into the bloodstream, and from the blood, every part, every organ, every gland, every cell of the body can be nourished. How beautiful it is that a little act of sipping water can bring so many wonderful blessings into us. And this blessing is given to us by our own thoughts. We see this time that there is very little boundary between the body and the mind. There is a connection. And the more we are aware of it, the more we are able to resonate, and the more we become into alignment with the reality of the self. And we know that we have organs in the body which look after everything that we have drunk, that help the toxins to be released. So we bless our kidneys, we bless our urinary bladder, because it allows us to get rid of whatever toxins were left behind after we breathed. Because not everything can be released from breath. Everything that we are taking in and out, we see the dimming of the boundary between what is beneficial and what is toxic. One can lead to the other. But if we are aware of how we are what we are bringing in, how we are bringing in, what we are bringing out, and how we are releasing, then we can release also in a beneficial way, in a way that does not harm, but just feeds. How beautiful that even when we are cooking and there are vegetables or peels, vegetable or fruit peels, we can give them to the worms in our garden in a compost, and they turn all of that waste into soil from which our food can grow. There really are very few boundaries. And now let's think of the food that we eat and bless the food. You know, there are stories of how people have eaten even poison and it has not affected them because they have done it with such a feeling. They were just lost in love of the divine. But we can. Why do we have these ways of thanking the food, or being grateful, thanking those who made the food, or who cooked it, or who grew it, or thanking Mother Earth, or thanking God, whoever you thank? What is the reason we thank? It's not someone out there waiting for you to thank them. It is so that we make ourselves into a certain vibration. So just for today, let's do this. Every time we eat something, let's remember who helped this food to enter my body. Who grew it? How did it grow? Every food that we eat can be traced back to the soil and the water and the air and the warmth of the sun. All of it which comes to us through Gaia, through Mother Earth, Dharti Mata. So we thank Mother Earth because from her we are able to bring food into our bodies. And we thank the people who grow it and who therefore bring it to us, who cook it. And we thank ourselves for eating it with awareness in a way that will help us and heal us. What a beautiful, simple way it is, without even having to do too much, but just with awareness that we can come into alignment with the simple act of eating. If you eat all by yourself, maybe it just takes 10 minutes to have a meal in silence, but in full connection with what we are eating. And then we thank our stomach our spleen, our pancreas, and all the digestive system, the gastrointestinal system, which helps the food to be eaten, to be chewed, to be digested, to be assimilated, and then to be excreted. Whatever does not suit the body is released. This whole self is actually just one tract, the gastrointestinal. How beautiful it is that there is actually no boundary, just as we saw with the breath, of taking in and releasing. So we receive, we absorb, and we radiate with every part and everything that we do. And then we thank the sun, the warmth and the light that we receive from it. Because of that, our food can grow. Because of that, vitamin D can be made into our bodies, which gives us healthy hormones and healthy bones, the whole structure of which we are made. The sun seems so far away, and yet its light, its warmth, the way it gives life to everything that we eat and we drink, just dims the boundaries between itself and us. Once again, we see that in our own self, we have the sun. In a metaphorical, spiritual way, it is said that we are reflections of the sun. And the reflection is the same as the sun. It is not different. It has the same quality. Just as we saw yesterday, that even though the earth is not a star like the sun is, it doesn't have enough of the stuff that is required to send out those rays of light and warmth. But at the same time, with our own coming together in harmony, in alignment, every day in loving gratitude of Mother Earth, we as people are able to radiate out these blessings into the universe. So that the earth becomes not the physical sun, but it becomes an elemental, spiritual sun in the galaxy. And so there is very little boundary between even our actions that we do. A little moment taking every day of being in silent, loving gratitude. Just that little moment every day at 9:09 helps us to connect with the whole universe. And that we are doing with our bodies, sitting still, maybe doing the Gaia minute gratitude lotus practice. So our whole bodies are involved. And we think, what is it that we are doing? How can we possibly be affecting the whole universe? But we are. Let's just take a moment to absorb all of this in. And we thank fire. Because of fire, we are able to cook our food, warm our bodies, have light even when the sun goes down. And this fire, the energy of fire in our hearts, in our small intestines, which help to absorb and assimilate the food. Each organ in our body is connected with one element of the earth. There is very little boundary between the physical earth and the physical body. Everything is just dimming. And what about the collective unconscious that we have often read about? There is something that's called a tribal memory. Memories that we have from our ancestors, even from beings that we have never met, from just because one, we have their DNA, and two, maybe because of stories that we have been told. And sometimes just a thought comes to mind, and we don't even know, did it come from ourselves, or was there a river of thought going by and we just picked up something from it? There's very little boundary between our mind, our thoughts, our brains, as we can see in this image behind us, and whatever there is that all of humanity can sense. And because of this, it's so important to be grounded in our own center. Let's take a moment now to ground in our own center. We start first with the physical breath, as we did in the beginning. So taking it in, letting it go through, and taking it out. Whenever you're feeling distressed, the most simple way of coming to center is just watching our own breath. And as we watch, if the breath is distressed or disturbed, we may be able to calm it down by just slowing our breath. This is under our control. How we breathe can be under our control. And immediately it helps the whole physical body, the whole nervous system to come to a calm state. And now let's feel that we are a tree and that roots are growing from the soles of our feet into the earth, all around the earth, making us very stable in this moving planet. And our arms are just spread wide, like the canopy of a tree. And that's how it is. With our thoughts and our feelings that we are radiating out, actually we are radiating out this kind of an energy. We have an energy field all around us that everyone can sense, some more consciously than others. And so as we do that, we begin to feel the energies that are entering us. And this is where our own consciousness plays a part. What are you bringing in? If someone is angry around you or someone is disturbed around you, are you taking that in without a filter? Even the nose knows that when it's taking in air to filter out the dust particles and not to let them enter the lungs unless there are too many and it overwhelms the system. In the same way, when we are taking in from outside, our own consciousness can choose, can filter in and filter out. Therefore, our consciousness is important. What is it that our own vibration? What vibration are you vibrating at? What is your energy signature? Let's take a moment to feel love. And what happens to you when you feel love? And what happens to you when you feel distress? What happens to you when you feel caring? Think of different emotions that we feel in a day. Only you can know which emotions are more prominent in most of your day. And feel how you can make them different. That is in our control. That is the beauty of the human self that we have. That our own physical breath, our own body posture can help our mind, can help our emotions and our feelings. So there's no difference and no separation between the body and the mind. As they say, sometimes the body follows the mind, and sometimes the mind follows the body. So you can choose a thought to think which helps you to feel calm and lets your body relax, or you can relax your body and that can relax the emotions. That is the beauty of this alignment of the body and the mind. And what is driving it all? Who is the I and the you that are talking and listening to one another? That is the self, the soul, the inner being, the watcher, the one that is guiding everything that we are, everything that we do, everything that we be. There is no separation between body, mind, and soul. There is no separation between the one self that we talked about and the one family and friends, near and dear ones, and the one which is the whole world. So every day, let's take a moment to just connect with the wonder of the one self. Because in this one self is all. And let's bring this into today's gratitude exercise. So we start with one, with our two hands coming together, feeling very centered, very together, very connected. And as we open our index fingers, we connect with the mind, with thought, with emotions, with reasoning, with understanding, all of this which is in the one individual self. And as we open the ring finger, we connect with the physical body. We connect with everything that helps us to be organized, the way our physical bodies are organized, the whole universe which is within us. And yet it seems so together, so well organized, so well put together. Just like a family unit. And then we open the middle fingers and the lotus starts to open into our life, which has everything in it. Everything that we do, everything that we are, everything that we be has our body, our mind, our soul. It has the individual self, the near and dear ones, families, and the whole world, which affects us physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And then we begin to radiate as the sun that is coming in through the window. We radiate it out and bring it to ourselves, feeling the love, the warmth, the centeredness that our own physical bodies help us to experience. How grateful we are for being the universe, in the universe, of the universe, and for the universe, in love and gratitude. Thank you.